Hey, Casas Adobes, Pastor John here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what the scriptures are this Sunday and what we're going to do in Sunday school. First of all, it's the 4th of July, and you may be celebrating, you may be planning a cookout or a vacation, maybe being by the pool. I know here it's been really, really hot, but it looks like our summer rains may be tickling a bit, but wherever you are, I hope that you have a fun celebration and that we remember all the possibilities that that our country and the founding of our country can be. There's some really good things that are possible. The thing is that we got to keep working at it. It's not something that you can sit back and just go, okay, we're all done. Everybody is where they need to be. It's not always like that. It's something that we got to keep working on. And that's the wonderful thing about our country, is that we are able to move forward and hopefully get things better and better and better and better and better. So this Sunday, we are talking about abilities and disabilities and being able to go out into the world, and what a disability really is. So the first reading is from the Old Testament, and we were talking about King David, and King David is finally made king. And so we've seen the past couple of weeks, we saw David being surprised because he was the smallest of all his brothers, his little shepherd. And here he is elevated up into being king. And then we saw him up against Goliath, and that was a big disadvantage. Well, he has been overcoming perceptions about him, perceptions that he's too small, he's not strong enough, he's not the right person. And over, God has shown, you know what? David is the right person. Don't just preconceive him. Don't put prejudices on him. Just because he's young doesn't mean he can't be king. And so that's the first one. There is a reading from the letter of Paul to Corinth, and he talks about having a disability, a thorn in his side that God has put there, and he prays and prays for it to be taken away. Nobody really knows what this thorn is, but according to this passage, it really is something that's causing Paul a lot of trouble. But you know what? He rises up, he rises above it. Whatever this thorn is, whatever his disability is, he's able to rise above it, and he's able to do things God's way. Our last story is about Jesus, and Jesus goes back to his hometown and he starts preaching and he starts teaching people. And everyone's like, wow, how is he so smart? How is he doing these wonderful things? It's amazing. And then in the next breath, they say, but wait, isn't this the same Jesus from down the street? Same person who's Mary's son? We know his brothers and sisters. We know Mary. But he's just a hometown guy. What's so special about him? They shut their ears and close their eyes. They don't see what Jesus is. They don't see the reality of Jesus because they're prejudiced against him. They prejudged him that he's the person from down the street. So Jesus has a disability in that people aren't giving him the chance that he needs to. He's just Jesus from down the block. And he's not the amazing person that we all know Jesus to be. So, how does this pertain to us? Well, these stories all teach us how We are all disabled in some way. That means our ability is taken away somehow. And you don't have to be physically disabled in some way or handicapped. You know, in my story, I've been pretty open. I've had a stroke, and I have a disability. Sometimes I brought our friend here. This is kind of how I feel sometimes. Okay, so I feel like I want to be hunched over. Let's see, like that, and like that, and then I want to put my leg like that. Okay, and so that's kind of the disability that I want to feel. And sometimes people see that, and you know, and a lot of people are very concerned about me. They're like, oh, can Pastor John do that? Is Pastor John strong enough? And you know, I'll tell you, there are times when I feel like this, and that people don't give me the full chance sometimes that I need. But I know it's out of love and concern for me. Now, there are two folds. Actually, Jesus recognized the disability in his hometown. Paul recognized this disability. And so I need to recognize my disability sometimes. And what I need to do is I need to know, well, sometimes I have to take a rest. And then secondly, I need to stretch. I need to stretch myself out. And once I get stretched out and fully where I should be, that is how I can be able. I also need to know to ask for help if I need to ask for help. So it's a twofold thing. You need to stop prejudging people, and you need to be aware honestly of your abilities and what you can do, what you can't do, when you need to rest, when you need to go forward. And this is the last part of the story. Jesus then leaves his hometown. He's only able to heal a few people, but then he goes out and he tells his friends, you know what? You have the power to go out. Go out into the world, do good, preach, heal, help people. That's what we're all called to do. Go out into the world. And he says, and you know what? If somebody says, oh, you can't do it, you know what? Don't get all bent out of shape about it. Shake the dust off and move ahead. Okay? You know, there are challenges, and we don't want people who pound us down. But, you know, if people aren't listening to you, go out, do it another way, and then show them that you can. So this is the good news that we're going to be studying. So, as always, want you to be safe, want you to be well, of course, be a blessing regardless of your ability or your disability. Okay? All right. Peace.